Get a view on those results today. I mean, how many times have we heard an Auditor-General say there's a lack of consequence management in municipalities? Dr. Dirk Brand is a senior lecturer extraordinary at the University of Stellenbosch School of Public Leadership. Dr. Brand, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time on Newsfeed today. We've known for a long time our councils cannot manage their money. It seems things are getting worse rather than getting better from what I can see. There's been no real improvement.
Yes, good afternoon, Stephen. Indeed, so it is really disappointing to see the Auditor-General's report quite similar to the reports from the last few years. No real improvement, and the same old story, lack of accountability, poor oversight. The financial management systems are not functioning as it should be in most of the municipalities.
What's it going to take to change it? I mean, we've had Auditor-General after Auditor-General make the same point, a lack of consequence management. It seems, I hate to say this in some ways, but it seems political.
Indeed. I think there's a lack of political will to enforce accountability. If people in government took it seriously, there would in fact be consequences for people contravening the financial management legislation. Municipal officials or councillors involved in poor decisions in not applying the legislation would face the wrath of the law there. So political will is the first step. The Auditor-General also pointed out into the importance of putting in place really the basics of good financial management, which unfortunately is lacking in many municipalities.
It would seem that there's really a lot of work to be done. This doesn't happen overnight, and in each and every municipality there will be a different situation. It really requires, I mean, a sort of generational turnaround in a way.
Well, for years now, the National Treasury has instituted basic minimum requirements for officials in municipalities, middle and senior management officials, to improve the financial management skills of those officials. And universities all over the country provide that kind of training, continue to do so. And still, there's not much improvement. So I think within each municipality, there should be a serious attempt to make sure that the right staff is appointed and that continuously you work on the improvement of skills to make sure that the quality of financial management is improving over time.
There'll be a big political conversation about how it is that councils in the Western Cape appear to be doing a lot better in this than councils in other parts of the country.
Certainly, politics would always be relevant in these debates, but if you look objectively to the results of the Auditor-General and you analyze what he says about the Western Cape municipalities who did well, it's basically that they put in place the right systems. They have control measures in place, they have early detection measures and take that seriously. So if they do a risk assessment, analyze that there are problems either existing at the time or problems that would be foreseen, then they act upon that and make sure that it's dealt with properly. And there's strong leadership in the administration of the municipalities and political leadership as well. So putting in place the basic building blocks for good financial governance can be done all over the country if you take it seriously.
This is quite a sort of high-level conversation. In other words, it involves auditors general, it involves money, it involves finances, it involves parliament and deputy ministers. The consequences for this on the ground, I mean, we know that there are councils that can't get water to run through pipes, that can't manage roads disappear, rubbish is not collected. I mean, is there a direct link, in your view, between these outcomes announced today by the Auditor-General and the kind of services that people are getting or not getting?
Oh, indeed. In one of the Auditor-General's comments, he referred to the issue of water and the many municipalities that shows water loss of over 30%, which shows to bad maintenance of water infrastructure, and that in turn reflects on how the finances of a municipality is managed. So bad financial management translates into poor service delivery. And certainly communities can be justifiably be unhappy with the situation.
is there a prospect for change? I mean, there is a local government election still scheduled for later next year. We don't know what's going to happen because of COVID-19, of course. But do you expect there will be some kind of shift in the near future? Or do you think we're going to see the Auditor-General giving us the same kind of comment next year?
Well, I think there's always a possibility of change, and elections bring that possibility. A lot can happen between now and whenever the next local government election would be. If the situation gets worse in municipalities, and I think it can in many places get worse than it's currently, maybe the citizens might take a different decision. If you look at the situation of people that provide services to municipalities and don't get paid for those in time, I mean, a turnaround time of half a year to get your accounts paid by a municipality is totally unacceptable. So from service provider side, there could also be pressure on municipalities to change their behavior.